Welcome to Make Something with me, David Picciuto, and today we're going to build this infeed table, outfeed table, support table, sanding station, and storage unit. Check it. So today we're going to build a little shop caddy, a little rolling cart, and it's going to serve a few purposes. I want it the same height as my table saw, so when I'm cutting large pieces, I can use this for support either on this side or on the back. I found when I'm cutting large sheet goods that things fall, it's awkward and it's hard to move around, so it's going to help out with that. And then it's also going to be the same height as my bench top, and I can extend my bench top if I need to for large projects, or I can put it beside the bench and then run my circular saw between the two. This is going to be the same, almost the same width and length as my router pad, so I can use that for my router pad for sanding, and this gives it a little bit of grip. And then roughly the same size as my cutting mat. And we are going to get some craft paper, and we're going to cut the tube down to the width of that, and that's going to sit along the side of it, and then we can roll the craft paper on top of that when we need to for messy projects. So the top of it, I'm not too concerned about it. It can be made with any materials that you want. It's going to get stained and finished and cut marks all throughout it, and I want that to be replaceable. It's going to be on casters so it can easily roll around the shop wherever it needs to, and it's going to have drawers on each side of it so it can store all my little hand tools and my glue and whatnot. I have no plans for this. We're going to kind of make this on the fly. We're going to measure the height of my bench top and the table saw and the router pad, and we're just going to work without plans, and we're going to wing it today. I'm going to make this just under the height of my table saw to use as an extension wing either on this side or over there. My table saw is about 35 inches tall, just under that. And so I'm going to make mine about 34.5 inches minus the thickness of the top, which is going to be 1 inch, and the height of the casters, which is 3.5 inches. This is why we need this little caddy. So we're going to take these thin strips that we cut, turn it into an L, and we're going to pocket hole them together. And this will be our 4 legs, just like how I built my workbench and my miter saw station. We have our 2 leg assemblies. I'm gonna throw some glue on there. And then we take this guy that we cut earlier, throw that right on top. So here are the 2 sides. Now we'll make some. Got these stretchers here. Just going to glue and screw them in place. Cool. So it's time to add the casters. I'm doing 2 things wrong. One is I'm only using 3 of the 4 holes, and 2, I'm going in the end grain. There we go, look at that. cut the bottoms out over at the table saw. We're just going to glue it and brad nail it right into place. So I need to build out the sides for our drawer slides. So I got 2 sheets of plywood that I'm just gonna glue and screw in place. All right, so now we're installing the drawer slides. I'm gonna do drawers on both sides. I'm using the Rockler Universal Drawer Jig, which is pretty cool. It helps me line things up. And it pops off. And put in a couple more screws. Got a little spacer in here. Got my drawer set on there, and I'm just going to screw this in one part at a time and pull the drawer out. And there's our drawer. This one's going to be a lot deeper, and the reason so is I get my glue bottle. We'll fix that. We'll fix that. Deflated. So I just cut some pieces up over at the table saw, and that is just going to fill this space here to flush that up. I could do the other side and then the bottoms as well. So I cut some drawer fronts over on the table saw, and before I screw them in, I'm going to try to hot glue them in place and see if that holds. Set some spacers in there. And now we got to go get some door handles. For the top, all I'm doing is screwing it in top down. That way I can replace this in the future so there's no glue. Please allow me a moment to tell you about today's sponsor, and that is Squarespace. Squarespace templates makes creating a powerful online identity even easier. Each template is a starting point for a wide range of products, whether you're pursuing your side hustle or promoting your main gig. Create a beautiful website with Squarespace's all-in-one platform. There's nothing to install, patch, or upgrade ever. Squarespace provides award-winning 24/7 customer support. And it's never been easier to set up a store and sell online. Squarespace allows you to manage your products, orders, and inventory easily. Squarespace makes it quick and simple to get you up and going without knowing a thing about code, the cloud, or servers. Start your free trial today at squarespace.com and go to squarespace.com/makesomething to get 10% off your first purchase. In our last Squarespace spot, I asked some of you to send me some of your Squarespace links, and this week I'd like to highlight Bruce A. Ulrich, Christian Belling, JT Woodworks, and Barrett Bat. On February 15th, I will highlight a few more of you, so if you have a Squarespace site, please post your link down below, and if you don't have a Squarespace site, check the link down in the description to start your free trial. Think it, dream it, make it with Squarespace. All right, so let me show off my new shop caddy. Check this out. There it is. It's mostly done. It's functional now. I still need to put a coat of finish on there. I'll probably shellac it someday and then put some drawer handles on there. On the one side, I put a craft paper roll on here. And then below that, I have my sanding discs. On the other side, I put a paper towel and a shop towel holder on there. I'm very happy with it. It rolls around fairly easily. The one thing that I found is my shop floors are so crazy uneven. There are plenty of spots right here. Here's a good example where it wobbles, but if I move it just a little bit, it doesn't wobble. That's the problem with having 4 wheels and a really uneven floor. It is what it is. I'm happy with it. It is just below the height of my table saw, just below the height of my workbench, so I can use it to extend pieces, to support pieces, especially like large 4x8 sheets of plywood, running it through the table saw. Here are the drawers. I've added this foam stuff that you can tear out so your tools fit in there perfect. These top two drawers here, I haven't decided what to put in there yet, but this bottom drawer has all my Craig stuff in there that fits in there just perfect. So it keeps everything very organized. On the other side, I currently have a space for all my glues and tape. They're all gonna go in the same drawer. And these two drawers, I don't know what's gonna go in there just yet. I do find one of the issues is when I roll it around, the drawers pop open and slide open. So maybe I'll add some magnets on there so they stay closed while it rolls around. On the top here, I have this router pad. This comes from my local hardwood dealer, KenCraft. They designed this router pad. This is made right here in Toledo, Ohio. It's similar to carpet padding, but it's a little bit more dense. It's a formula that they worked with a local manufacturer. So it's like carpet pad, but it's slightly different. It's a little more grippy. So when this is on the table, you can set your pieces on here and you can use it to hold the pieces and route it with no clamps or whatever. I mostly use it for sanding because it holds things in place while I'm sanding. So check out kencraftcompany.com. I do believe that they sell these online. That's also where I got my plywood and the drawer slides. They are a good family-owned business. The top here, I didn't want to cut into a brand new sheet of plywood, so I just used a couple scraps, 2 pieces here. It's just screwed on, not glued. I'm assuming over time it's gonna get coated with finish and junk and it's gonna look ugly, and I can easily replace the top. So this is a great companion to my workbench. It can store a lot of the tools and supplies that I need frequently at the bench. If you want to see how my workbench was built, I have part 1 up here, which is the basic build of the bench. And then down here, I have part 2 where I add all the accessories to make this bench a modern maker's bench. I would like to thank Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. That is it. As always, be safe, have fun, stay passionate, and make something.